All right, well, we're standing up here in the attic before it gets retrofitted, and it's telling us some very interesting things. Number one, you've got some canned lights, always big leaky sources. Now, they make cans that are airtight now, but these are not. Major air leakage. You see some electrical wires everywhere. When that wire comes up in the attic and goes down into the partition walls downstairs to get to a electrical box, there's another very likely source of leaks. The third thing we're seeing here is some plumbing. Every time the pipes come up and down into that attic, there is a source of leakage. A good plumber, good electricians today, they all seal those up. But these older homes, none of that was ever taken care of. It's very important when we retrofit these attics that we first seal those all up. And when you seal them all up, you're going to pack down the existing insulation that's already inadequate to start with. So you want to do that first, and then, just like mopping a floor, you start on one end, you don't walk over it, you put a nice layer down that you want, and you end up with good airtight attic ceiling plane with, say, in this case, we're going to shoot for R38 of insulation. Higher the R, the better the performance. This is a 3 by 5 foot hole, open to the wild outdoors. No insulation, no air sealing. And I'm going to tell you that the air loss is probably more severe than the conductive and convective and radiative heat loss. It's mostly the mass movement of air that's coming in and going out. We find these all the time. Very, very simple solution. So what we're going to do is we'll put an air gasket on that, nothing more than weather stripping, and then build like a little tent of insulation. So when you walk up the ladder, instead of seeing into the attic, you can see this little insulated tent. You push it off to the side, no fuss, no muss, hardly get in your way at all. Big saver.
HVAC crews, electricians, and construction teams have now made all the improvements Jeff requested. Let's fast forward 2.5 months and see how this home has been retrofitted.
This is an example of a really, really nice sealed insulated attic hatch. I haven't even opened it yet, but this is nice and tight all the way around. And then it's gasketed here where this wants to open. And I have not opened this yet, but it lifts up and gets placed on the side so I can get clear passage to the attic. But this is how it's supposed to be done. And we have seen all variations of how to do this, but this is a Cadillac. This needs to be sealed. The gasket gets us our air seal, and this is an excellent example of that sealing. So we don't want warm air in the winter sneaking up through the attic hatch or hot air coming down in the summer. And then this gives us 2 inches of extruded polystyrene, which is about an R of 5 per inch, so that's R10. Now one can say that, well, we got R38 everywhere else. Why would you let only R10 here? Believe me, compared to what you generally get, if you can get a good seal, airtight seal with an R10, you are light years ahead of just about everybody else that has an attic hatch. But it's something that we've seen all kinds of examples of how to do attic hatches, and you can buy them commercial, but the idea of being able to get them airtight takes a little bit of an art and a little bit of luck to do it quickly and at low cost when you do it on a retrofit situation to truly get as nice a example as what we're looking at here. Clearly the way to do it. A very, very doable project. I would like to see maybe the Boy Scouts do this with their fathers on a Saturday and have a little contest. Who does the better job of insulating and sealing their attic hatch? He's even got the bats along here, so this is not just wood, it's really looking at this insulation. So if you look at the height of all the rest of the insulation around, you see that this is attempting to insulate here too. So you got insulation on the sides and on the top, well sealed, beautiful. We're standing in front of the indoor unit, and this is the unit that distributes the air that is in all the spaces. And so you're seeing a beautiful example of a nice, straight, clean trunk. That's the big, large pipe or duct that's going down the attic. And then what's coming off is the smaller, what they call the runouts to the individual supply registers in each house. This was all done with a manual D calculation. That's proper sizing of the ducts. And before that, we did a manual J calculation, which was proper sizing for both the heating and the cooling season. Something that when it's done, you get nice uniform temperature throughout the house. So now we're way beyond just getting energy savings. We're getting tremendous comfort in the home when we do this and do this properly. What we have done in this house is, before we insulated it, and you saw the pictures before and now after, but what you really aren't seeing is that every penetration, those can lights where the inside wall interfaces with the attic, that's all been sealed. So they trampled on this to get all that seal done first. So it's a nice combination of air sealing and then coming back over, so that we've got in this house now a well-sealed attic plane, just like we like, and then we've got R38 above that, just like we like. So we're expecting big things from this house. Big, big energy savings. And lots of expressions from the homeowner, I've never been so comfortable in my home. What we want is to look down into where an inside wall comes up, like right here. That's called a top plate. And we want to see that somebody has taken some effort, either caulk or foam, and sealed all along that top plate. When that was built, the wood shrinks different than drywall and always forms a crack so that air can come in from the attic and come out, say, an electric plate that's 6 foot down. We want that airtight. That is very, very important. I'm tickled to see that that's been done in this house. That's the way to do it. Then you cover it up, it all looks good, and it's air sealed, and it's R38. We got what we wanted here.